now in the next leg here, and then give it another try at the 11,032, then we could definitely see more downside. But if NQ holds strong, then this is gonna fuck me off. Like, that's gonna completely ruin my day.
Good thing I took some off.
Yeah, that's yep, that's me getting stopped now for filling. And I'm all out. But no. Like it's not like doing it in that manner. Like it's averaging the fill on both ends. So it's both buying at the limit and like being an active participant on hitting market south buys. So it's not really that easy to spot it. Was a total of 160 lots and ended up with 3 ticks of profit. I mean, it doesn't show you that. It's not me. I mean, it could have been some of my lots that went through there, but it's not, like, definitely not. Majority of mine closed way below. I got 2 ticks better. Like, my average fill was 2 ticks lower than the... So it was 1393 evens I had the majority of my lots filled on. It's kinda sucky that it ripped my face off and then came back. No, a profit is a profit, not a loss. You still in the majority of yours, Zero?
No, but I just re-entered. I'm just gonna see how this plays though. I might cut it a lot earlier. It is a very, very, very small leash. Like I'm talking about like a point. No. Thank you did not trade at all for from 52.25 to 54.
And Q is just ramping. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Why ramp tech into fucking FOMC? Just to sell it off?
I think so, maybe we have numbers earlier today, and that was pretty telling of what,
I mean, the FOMC, this is old data, like the FOMC here. So the PMI was in line, and the JOLTS numbers were higher than expected, which is bearish. Well, usually is bearish, considering they want them to decrease the jobs. And it's for November, so it's even lagging.
They finally filled that place where they didn't fill anything. Jesus Christ, this is just jittery as hell. It's just so jittery. Can't even trade this. We break lower. Oh, bottom tick. Everything's at break even.
And Q finally rolling over a little bit.
Well, I'm at break even for NQ.
I added half size at 93.25, by the way. Oh, 93.25 is my best fill. 93 is the majority of my fill. It's like an average of 90 something, 93 something,
Okay.
93.10, 10.
Make up your mind. I'm sure both ES and NQ, so I'm just trying to see where I want to get this off. Everything's at break even.
Can they push through this fucking supply wall here? Oh, this is ridiculous.
First take profit for me is 1775 for NQ. And for ES, take profit.
What is it that they're buying? It must be some big name that they're buying.
85.50.
Is it Apple they're buying the shit out of?
One check.
Yeah, it seems pretty fucking bullish on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't get low. Tesla, Apple. Well, Apple's, yeah, they're both not really being bought. Netflix is what's actually being bought, and so is Meta.
You have to look at it on a weighting basis, like how it's progressing. Like if you have to compare it on ES at least. So
We'll take one.
Tesla ticked up like it's not great. It's not shit either, but it's not great. I want to have that fucking mini crash before the
I
news,
took one
and
off.
they can.
I only have one lot remaining for both, so, and they're both at break even.
I will most likely add on if we get like a break below 88, and I will most likely add more lots onto it on a pullback. So
Can I calculate that quick? Let me see. No, I did. Okay. 1775 for NQ. It seems far.
it's pretty far down.
Yeah.
That's like deleting more than the entire run up today.
I'm talking about for NQ.
And yeah,
Oh, no, it just deletes like the last, I don't know, 20 minutes.
11.75.
11.
Oh yeah, that's the top end. Yeah. I thought you said 10. I was like, what the fuck? Oh.
That's too lofty of a goal.
1,000 points. I was like, no problem. 1,000, like usually compare it to 1,000 ticks. Nah, fuck that. 1,000 points. That's where
You
it's
been
at.
trading or you just been chilling?
I've just been chilling.
Oh, I see. I'm flat in ES. Just made a couple. I don't know how much I made.
It's really pissing me off that it's struggling this hard, man.
I think NQ, if you are looking for a long, which I'm not saying you should, but it can get down to 44.50 before you can see more upside. And if you're looking for a short, this could probably test to 46.25. There it is. And then see if we can roll. It's rolling. Oh, I don't know what it wants to do. I'm still holding on to my short and NQ though. Whoa. Go ahead and take me out. Now I'm out. Peter, the levels are the same. So if you're still the risk range I told Fat it still applies now. So if you're looking for a short, you can probably lean on something like that. I think NQ can get up to 93.50. Sorry, ES can get up to 93.25 before it rolls. If you're looking for a short, 93.25 would be a good roll. Let me just double check some things. Yeah, 93.25. Oh, we already tapped it actually. Never mind. It's tapped. You can get up to maybe 93.50. They re-tapped that
We have a
93.25. What's up?
we have a naked point of control at 3905. If you
39.05.
guys,
I
are
don't.
into market profile and whatnot, or volume profile.
I'm not, but it's good to know. Thanks. I don't like it anymore. Not too jealous. think we could build up a little bit more.
Currently up like 6R Bellas areas, so nothing tremendous.
Fuck you, I'm up 2R or 3R. And I had a good spot too today.
And Q keeps peaking, like but the volume on NQ is absolutely horrendous. So I would not be surprised whatever they do. And Q really needs to get the hint. Or people who trade tech. Get out with your money before it vanishes. I don't think tech is in season yet. Well, anytime soon, rather. it's not in season really at all. So I mean, sure, you could probably buy it for like a slight dip, like the relationship between like Ultra Bonds and QQQ. It's pretty much like flat during the last few days at the relative bottom, like the QQQ divided by TLT.
A lot of absorption here by the sellers. I shouldn't say a lot, but they are absorbing. And if they give up, this could run a little bit. You could go up to tap 95 again, or 95 or to 95.25. Probably 95 before we can lower. It was 95. See how it acts first. The thing is, NQ is not tapping the same exact level. If you miss that short, we might still be able to get in maybe at 94.50. Good print to the downside. Let's see if we can, there goes 94.50. And you should be only taking 1 point of, less than a point of risk. And you should be a break even at this point, or at least taking mitigate risk. Keep your stop at 95.25 and see where this runs. You don't want to take too much risk here. Oh, like that second tap. The second tap spells trouble.
Well, it gave me the chance to get filled properly. So I've just been waiting until now. Short 94.25 as my average. Oh, yeah, 94.24. No. It's because it's averages on prices around it. Like best fill I got was 94.50. Worst fill I got was 94 even. I'm holding 96.50 as my stop, so it's quite wide for me. But I'm fairly confident.
Where'd you get in?
94.24 is my average because it's averaging the price
Oh, okay.
of the lot. I mean, if it pukes, it pukes. Means to stop. Nah. We have lunch hour now, which is the ideal time to fill. And the volume like the bid and ask is thick. Like it's 120 lots per side. Like it's really thick. Which means that's like likely even if I flush with this size that it will absorb like maybe it will give me like 3 ticks of slippage. Which is not all too bad. Like I'm risking half my win on the day. So it's really fine. And if it can break like the 88s, I might like put on half like additional size of what it's already on. But it has to break it. I'm doing the same concept as before, but I'm adding if it goes in my favor. If it breaks key levels where it should trigger stops, then I will add on to the position in this reality where like and then I will just keep going with it. So instead of having 1R, I'm having 1.5R of size. So if I'm taking 160 lots, I'm putting on an additional 80 after a set amount, which basically gives me a buffer. I mean, it's not really adding fuel to the fire. Like I'm doing it in a manner where it averages on, it sits on the limit order. So any buyers that actually like come in when it's flushing will get absorbed by me. But I'm only doing it on moves that like I'm not market buying it. So if I'm not getting filled, it doesn't matter. Yep. But it's only in the situation where it breaks a level like here, where it needs to break 87 for it even to be relevant. Then it will typically try to trend down to 74. Because we've been consolidating here for a really long time now. Like it's been consolidating here for 1 hour and 20 minutes. 1 hour and 20 minutes in this range between 86 and 95, and it's a typical distribution. So it's just a question of who's right and wrong, the shorts or the longs at this point. But distributions like this usually ends up at one side being completely fucked. And I'm not gonna bet that after the rally we've had the last few, like that, like we pretty much like obliterated the sell-off from yesterday.
Apple came down a bit.
Now let's look and see if we can get the follow through here that we're wanting. NQ is nuking, so should be good to go. We tested where that last group of buyers were before, like when we popped up the last time. Held it for now. I don't think we're done though. I think it's just short covering now, retrace, and then you get to add at 90 or 91 maybe. And then remember, people are coming back from lunch now, so if they're seeing that they're down and they're praying for a fucking up position, they're gonna get fucking out, take some profit. Self-fulfilling prophecy at that point, pretty much. Because people are brutally long. Some people abuse that. Hello, Chia. Come on, give us that good old flush. I don't think they're gonna absorb for like any serious amount here. Not more than 5,000 lots. Now we're trying the real level here at 84. Let's see if it breaks or not.
There you go.
Well, I'm pretty happy about that. My re-add at 18, refilling or whatever you want to call it at 89 paid off. I'm not gonna lie, like I did add even more, but it's okay. My risk is like, okay, like getting on an average basis, like sure the current, like the position that I re-added at 89, it was a little bit more than half size, was 75% of half size, roughly estimating. Well, as close of an approximation as I can get it. Entire full original entry is off at 79.75. Just add on now at 89, and that is even with a 2-point stop on. So I'm just gonna let this run, see where it goes. There's no risk on whatsoever. It's 1.75 times standard size, so 300 lots in total was the trade. But it's only 120 left on the table. 180 already took off in profit. I waited until I saw like a clear signal. I'm gonna take half of the remaining position, so 60 lots gonna go off here. Thank you. Come back. Okay. It's not coming back to take that off. I mean, Belisarius, I already traded, like, I traded in Globex, but this short here was phenomenal. But the Globex did not perform as well as this trade did. But I had way tighter risk on that on those trades than I had on this one. I think that was your opportunity to add to like a short if you wanted to at 79, because you could have had like a stop at 81 roughly, approximating. 81, 82-ish, if you trade with larger stops. Just the bounce back there was pretty strong. I don't know if this is gonna go back down even more. Hence why like I wanted to take profit on half of the remaining size. But I want it out at 74.50. Didn't get that. I only got 20 lots out of the 60 that I wanted to close at 74.50. Hence got a bit pissed off when it came back all the way up to 79, but well, what can you do? That's the curse of using Iceberg. I mean, I don't want to be more aggressive, Belisarius, that's the point. Because I wanted to pan out completely. Like the original position that I closed out was basing it on current R factors. It was 7.375 R on the first initial position that I closed out. And this is just to add on to like the winner if it comes down even further. But worst case scenario, I get stopped out for 2 points of profit on the remaining 120 lots. So it is what it is, kinda. Well, 100 lots, excuse me. Because I already took 20 off there at 74.50. So all in all, right now, like realized profit from that trade so far is 130 grand. So pretty okay. It's Well, I'm up 14.61 R on the day. So, in realized profits. But I'm hoping this actually works out. Let's see. I reached the 76 target, which I wanted to reach originally, which is eh. Hence why I'm willing to stick with the added position, because this was risk that I didn't like, that I wasn't expecting to have extra money on the table from the trade. I was expecting to end up like 14R roughly if I was right on the day up. And that's because I'm not gonna trade like the entire session today. I'm not really up for that today. Looks like a slow retrace on NQ, so maybe we go further up. I don't know. Like, we pretty much tested a full session POC on NQ and then retraced. Nice target, Belisarius. I don't really know where NQ is ramping to, because NQ is the thing that's pulling ES along. It's really funny that tech is so dominant today. It's not usual. I'm betting on you, Belisarius, because I want the creditors that you bought with credit card to get their money back one way or another. Hopefully from money you took from the market. It's semis. Semiconductors are fucking risk on as fuck. Like, they're fucking super risk on today. Qualcomm is up fucking 4%. PayPal 4%. Oh, ended up being a stop on that. Fucking super trend in NQ. It looks like a fucking rocket ship. Back to NQ being Valhalla or wrecked, I guess. Anyone caught that long?
Nah, I'm still sitting out.
Hell of a move you got there on NQ, man. If you would have been in the entire move. Holy.
Yeah, don't remind me. I'm sitting here wondering why I covered. It's the thing about fucking trading, right?
True.
I was short NQ and ES actually. NQ went a little further than I anticipated, but it's fine. I just didn't like the price action at the top.
It's so funny. Like every day, like it is really weird. They pull it up just to fucking slam it back down and then rip. Like it's a 50% retracement here on NQ of the move down.
This is not your
So
first rodeo. You should know the
no. But
bear
it's so funny like that. They're like it never gets old. That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh, it gets old when you get your ass kicked. It gets old.
oh, that's probably why I don't have that problem.
Yep.
Not as often as I win. That is. And the funny thing is, I don't expect FOMC to deliver anything that's like out of the usual, so to speak. So I don't know really what they're gonna achieve here.
Liquidity grab, steal money.
Microsoft got a fucking beating today.
Where is everyone? Everyone's so fucking quiet today. What's going on?
People depressed.
About what?
I don't know.
This back and
Being
forth
fucked over by the
gives
market.
No, this back and forth, they give you so many opportunities to make money.
Or
Not like,
lose it.
if you're playing breakouts, yeah, but which most people are reversion to mean, you should be able to make a shit ton of money today. I was short this morning at what? I got short 68.50. Covered most of it at 44, 38, 44. That's enough for me, man. I didn't get long, but that's good enough for me. Sorry, I got short at 72. Never mind, not 68.50. 72. If they run, they run. I mean, when you say risk limit, do you mean like I'm not going to exceed X amount carrying overnight? Or what do you mean by that? I have a risk limit for each trade I get into. I don't, as long as I don't get margin called, and usually I would say 9 times out of 10, if I'm carrying overnight, it's already very well into the green. So I'm not going to open any late day positions to carry over the night unless it's a really good number. But most of the time, for instance, let's just say I was long from the top and we are to close here, or sorry, short from the top, which I was short. Where did I get short? 93.50, 93.25. Let's just say we're to close here. I'm already taking enough profit, and everything is already like, even if it comes back against me, I don't lose too much. Assuming if I wanted to hold this short. So usually when I hold, whether it's it's not intentional, but sometimes the max I've ever held were 4 different instruments overnight. And that's not intentional in a sense of only 4. It's just entering a position, mitigating the risk or taking off your risk, and then just letting it go to where you need it to go. So like I told Post-it note yesterday, if you enter with 4 contracts, you need to mitigate risks with at least half at a certain point. And then so you have 2 remaining contracts. You want to take one off at a potential, I mean, this is what I do, it doesn't mean you have to, but take it off at a potential daily level where you feel like on a shorter time frame it's extended, but you still have a bigger view to say, let's just say you're super bearish in ES, right? And you shorted wherever. For me, my exit for ES, let's just say I were to have kept my short, my first exit in ES would roughly be about 76. And then the rest of it, essentially because I mitigated risk and I've taken additional one off, we're starting with 4. I only have 1 contract on. So even if it comes right up against me and stops me out at original, I still made, a lot of money off of it. I would have made 16 points off one contract or of the whole entire trade. So even if it comes up against me, I still make money. In total, I'm probably still making close to 20 points off that one trade, off of one contract. So um, if you're super bearish and let's just say you're aiming for a big goal, then you just hold that one contract overnight. And if it gives you another opportunity to short again, and let's just say it's here, you take it and it comes down, you mitigate risk, and then you'll, take an additional one off on an intraday level, and then you write two contracts into the next day. Or let's just say tomorrow we open and it gives you another shorting opportunity that, your current position that's open from today doesn't get stopped out, and you can keep on adding to that. So that's the way I do it. I just add to it on a macro sense. That's if you're, leaning hard one side. So like for instance, uh, you know, what was that leaning hard short on? Crude oil last week. You're just adding into positions and taking profit along the way. Yes, your dollar cost average is lower, but you're still taking profit all along the way. And then ultimately, when it gets to your goal, hopefully you have big size on. When I say big, maybe 8 complete lots, or I've never really done it to a point where I had like 20 lots or something on, but you know, at my complete goal, I've had, because eventually your big target where you first initially entered will eventually, that major target, that big target will eventually be a daily level, like it's reachable in one day. So let's just say, for the sake of just an example, um, you're shorting and you know that you can't reach it, you will hold one contract overnight. The next day it continues to get short, you short it again, and then you still, based on the day's texture, you can't reach it. The next day, once it gets there, then that's your full intraday level. You can exit everything all there at once. And at that point, hopefully you have more than, I don't know, more than 4 lots on, or something. Sometimes I enter with 8, so it's not always 4. Like today on that short, I entered with 8 lots at that level. Um, I entered 8 lots at 72. There was a little bit of slippage, so I would say, let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit of slippage. I can show you. Actually, let me save this real quick. Here, so let me just wipe out some key information real quick. Um, I think that's about it. So that picture shows like the time I entered. Now, this is based on because I think this is based on Pacific Standard Time. But anyways, yeah, it was an average flow. I don't know. It looks like it's 72 to 72 and a quarter with 8 lots. Brandon, what do you trade or micros, minis? So weird. As traders, we kind of always want the market to dump. But when I talk to my friends about it, and this is funny because it's like I want to say I have text messages from them, but I want to say back in March, we had a really mid-March we had a rally, and they were like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is that was the end of the move." And these are obviously investors, or not investors, but like the workers who watch a lot of MSNBC, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and they threw all these statistics at me, like, um, traditionally we only drop X amount of points, for all, you know, um, for all, recessions, so to speak, and that we're not going to drop any further. um, and that we recovered so fast in COVID, and then this is all MSNBC showing them these statistics, which they snapshot or like some kind of publication. Sorry. So yeah, so he was just saying that the length of recession drops are not that much, or not that, like, we recover fast from it. And my response to them, and they showed me a bunch of like allocate or publications about it, and I went to go back test it for fun. The '08 crash, um the 18 crash, the 2020, and I was like, your publication fucking is wrong 100%. Like, just me looking at the graph, I can tell you you're wrong. I think that this has a lot more downside. And they never believe me. I actually told them that I think by the end of the year we'll reach COVID highs, pre-COVID highs at 3402 or so. Uh, Clearly we never reached there, but pretty fucking close too. And I don't think we're done. Yeah, they just don't know. And then people, they're buying Tesla, and I think I told you guys all this story before, where Risky, I know you've heard this a million times. Where I had a friend who was an ex coworker, I should say, and he asked me what I'm doing now. He hit me up. Uh, what happened was he came over to my house, and we're just chit chatting, and he's all like, "Yeah, what do you do now?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just trading derivatives, futures, blah blah." And then he goes, "Ah, cut that shit, man. Let me teach you how to trade. All you have to do is just do, sell this or sell calls and whatever options and blah blah." He goes, "Let me teach you. Let me teach you how to trade." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm just trading futures and derivatives." He goes, "What's that? That's stupid. Let me teach you how to do it." He goes, "My friend just recently quit his job and is, selling fucking Tesla puts or whatever the fuck it was." And he actually quit his fucking job to do that. And this is during the COVID rise, right? Um, this is 2021, and I haven't heard from that guy since. Because I actually messaged him like, "Hey, how's your friend doing?" He hasn't messaged me. And I don't think he would. Yeah, he's on a private island. No, it's just yeah, but they're just dumb. Like they just, at that point, you buy anything, you're just making money, right? In 2020, you just doesn't matter what you buy. 2020, 2021, doesn't matter what you buy. Like, even if you're making money in that market, in that crazy ass bull nonsensical market, the question, I always have for people is what is your percentage gain from a buy and hold? And if your percentage gain is lower, then get the fuck out of my face.
I bought gold. It never went up. Can you help me?
Yeah. Gold is going to go up. Gold, well, I mean, don't buy it now, but we're in a regime where gold has been and will continue to try to go up. Yeah, Dingus, you're right. I made that mistake of explaining things to people.
I'm gonna
And
call it here for the day. Have a good one, everyone.
all right, later, man.
Ciao, ciao.
But yeah, so that was a funny story. Where's Harvey been? He's been gone. Yeah, Ira's fucking hilarious. He's actually not been in the room since the New Year. I mean, granted, it's only been 2 days. He's probably out on vacation. Oh, he is in the room, but he's not talking. Let me see. Let me message him right now. Let's see what he says. See it. It is. Chia, how are you back to full force yet, or what's going on? Okay, let me know when you're back. You have a concussion from that car wreckage? Right. Okay. Well, I hope you feel better. And don't blame your over trading on your concussion. Dude, concussions take a while. I've never had one, but from what I read. You guys watch that football player who just instantly stopped breathing or fainted on the football field?
Yeah, they said that he got hit in the chest so hard that his heart stopped.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, Chia, just take care and let me know you know, if you need anything or when you're back. We can talk more. Is there anything you guys have any questions? Did you guys take any trades? We can review your trades. We can review my trades, whatever. If not, well, yeah.
I took short at 85, covered at 78. I should have covered at my level of 74.
Okay.
I missed the demand at 74.
You just trade candlestick red pie?
Yeah. I don't have the fancy tools like risky and like numbers and stuff like that. And I don't use TPO and stuff like that.
Where did you short, you said?
I took it at 85 at the wick break, and then I went down to 78. I should have covered it at 74 though.
What time exactly did you short that? see. Was it 11:56 Central Standard Time?
I don't know what Central Standard Time, but 11:56. Yeah.
Okay, Central Standard. Okay, it's Chicago time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you see where it broke. If you go to the left, it broke where like there was a consolidation zone, and that for me was like, okay, it's gonna start capitulating.
If I go to the left.
Yeah, yeah. Like earlier in the day.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's my philosophy on trading. Like, if you can like force them to capitulate, then you're gonna get like vomits like, down.
Okay. Why not earlier?
I wanted to short at 38.94,
Yeah.
but since we went down and we retested up, I thought we were gonna go all the way to 39.05, then have like a huge vomit.
Hmm.
But then yeah, I didn't get in. So once I missed it, I was like, oh. Then I just waited for like a confirmation. I didn't want to like chase, because if I did, I would have gotten caught at like that like some type of retrace up, and that would have like stopped me out or something.
Oh, good trade.
Nah.
I mean, it's a good trade, and for me, I'm not very good at taking that short at 85. Like just me personal, okay? There's nothing against you or anything like that. But for me personally, I find it very difficult to short something that has moved down that much already. Now, even if we have a good feeling that it's going to go to that 74 level you were talking about, or 76 or whatever, for me, it's a tough entry just because where you're truly wrong is way up there. Like it could totally come back to 87, 88, and your thought process could still be correct. Would you agree? Like the short idea could still be correct. Like it could go up to 88 and then flush to 74.
Yeah. Well, that's like the thing. Like I want to work on. I want to like take it earlier, and then just have like a huge buffer, and then just hold it while it retests, and then like if it breaks structure on like a smaller time frame or something like that, then exit, or like a demand zone, then exit, or
Right.
or supply, depending on like whichever direction.
And you're talking about like ICT stuff right now, right?
Uh, you ever heard of a guy called Al Brooks?
Yes.
Yeah, it's more of his stuff. I want to look into ICT, but I haven't like looked into it yet.
Wait, aren't you the one?
I use candlesticks, volume profile, and time of day, and like catalyst.
Okay. Oh, you're not the one that was talking to me about ICT. Sorry, that's
Oh.
not you. Okay.
Is it good? Have you heard good things about it?
I've heard good and bad things. I've known some people that have taken it that have failed miserably. But I can tell you that I think that it has to do with no matter what you choose, course wise, and this is why like any course out there, right? There's always pros and cons to every course. Because trading, unlike buying a fucking toaster, it's the toaster doesn't have to fit your personality, right? It doesn't have to fit your mindset. Whereas trading has so much to do with mindset that the way ICT trades, it could not fit you, but it could fit 30% of the people out there. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be outside of that 30% or less. I'm just throwing out 30%, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the style has to match the trader. Like if you're really twitchy and you want to do a swing trades, you probably would never hold.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly ICT can do, swing trading too, but I I think that like if let's just say you're a completely new trader, I would say, and I've done this with Chia, define what type of trader you are. Like literally write it down, make it into a crazy essay, and really write it down, figure it out. What type of trader are you? I know with Chia, because I didn't really, I'm not, I hate to sound like an asshole, but I didn't put that much time into doing that questionnaire. But, you got to figure out what type of trader you are. And then you find a system similar to it, but you're also not going to marry it because eventually you're going to evolve. So if you're a volume profile guy, let's just say your first person you landed on was FT71, and you realize he's full of shit. And then you go somewhere else. But you take a little bit from what you've learned from him, and then you kind of apply it somewhere else.
That's like
Right.
no, like I want to say that like that's the scary part because like everyone and their mother has like a course or whatnot,
Yeah.
and then you have to wonder like if this person is so profitable, like why are they making a course?
Because so a lot of us got into a debate, and I have the full utmost respect for these people that I did get into debate with. Um, people in here, that people are respected in here as well, right? I think that paying for courses, like a lot of people had shit with OnlyTix. I don't have issues with OnlyTix. I only had an issue with him trying to push his product here because this is a free forum.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's banned from here. At least he's banned from my chat because I've had people say that he was taking levels and saying that it was his own. I don't know, whatever. I don't really care. But the point is, he's not allowed to be in here. So what I was trying to get at was, I don't think paying for something is wrong. I personally have paid. I can't even count how much I've paid, but I can give you a ballpark that it's probably closer to $30,000 to $35,000 in tuition. That doesn't include the money I've lost early on. It just literally is money I've sent to people, or paid for courses, shit like that. Close to 30 to 35,000, probably closer to 35,000, but it could be slightly above that too. But whatever. The point is, if I were to sit here and tell you that if you sign up for a course with XYZ, whatever, and he lays it out perfectly for you, like exactly what he does and how to use it without any kind of, stupid gimmickry indicators and shit like that, I think that that's well worth it because it saves you time. Now, I don't know about you, and I'm not trying to sound condescending, but 35,000 is a lot of money. But if it can save me a year or 6 months of losing, and or save me 6 months of time going through YouTube or Elite Trader or Reddit or whatever to find your formula to trade better, then I would say it's well worth it.
I believe that's true, but like that's the thing, like how I'm not sure because I'm fairly new. But it's just like, for example, the 71 trader guy, right? Like I mentioned before, like I used to watch his videos like every morning, like of his like taking the market, where it's gonna go and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I didn't log it like every day, but I noticed that he's wrong a lot.
He is always fucking wrong. Like, no, I did the same thing. I've been a partner of Convergent. I've watched his videos endlessly. I'm not joking. Like, I'm not saying that I've watched it more than you or anyone else in here, but I've consumed so much of his videos that I can't even begin to tell you how many hours I've spent on it. And this is not just his like pre-market meetings. This is also like his videos on Convergent, where I would download them, and as I'm driving, I'm constantly listening to them. And during that time, I was driving like 4 hours, at least every other day or every 3 days. So, and I was just constantly listening to that shit. So I've listened to, I want to say almost every single one of his videos. And then, he has that accountability, PAL, whatever in conversion. I can tell you that I don't think that dude knows what he's doing, truthfully.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I don't want to like talk trash about like if anyone uses these services or whatnot. Like whatever works for you, but like for me, like if someone like has a course or anything, I would track them and like, are you a winning trader? You know, like are you right on your takes? If you give out takes, if you're one of those traders that say, look, I see both. This is both the short side and the long side, and we react at these levels. I understand that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like realistically, like no one really knows where the market goes all the time. Because if they did, they would just be like swimming in billionaires, right?
Yeah.
But like when people give like takes, like, well, it should go down here, it should retest and come up here, then like the market opens and I'm watching and I'm like following my notes. I'm like, no, that I would have gotten like prison raped if I followed any of these plans, like straight molested.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And then like I go to the live stream and I type in like, hey, none of your plans worked out.
You did that?
Yeah. I'm like, I've been tracking this for like a month. What is this?
And what does FT71 focus on? Volume profile. He focuses on certain day stuff.
He's like,
know.
this is like a value era shit, like incomplete auction and stuff like that. But like sometimes when he does it, and I go to like the book and reference it, it's not the same as the book either. So I'm just like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I used to think of FT71 like, if not the Michael Jordan, no, he's definitely not the Michael Jordan of day trading, but he's at least someone, he's a Klay Thompson. I don't know, whatever. He was someone that I was like, wow, I looked up to him. And now it's like, I mean, because I've watched so many, YouTube still pops that shit up to me. And I can tell you when once in a while, when I'm feeling a little bit down and blue, I'll watch his pre-market meeting from the previous day and I'll laugh my ass off. Because it's fucking hilarious how wrong he is. And I'm not saying I'm always right. Obviously, I'm never always right. No one is, but I can say the things he says now is so comical in a sense where it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He's just, and there's other people I used to follow. There's this one guy called E-Mini Player. I don't want to harp on him too much because I think I was a little bit new then, but I can tell you that not that he doesn't know what he's doing, and I wouldn't sit there and say that he's not profitable, whereas FD71, I'm almost confident he's not profitable. But with E-Mini Player, I don't know if you guys know who he is. You guys can just Google him. I think he's profitable only because he has good risk management. Aside from that, I don't think he's profitable. Aaron Corbs, if you guys know who he is, I think he makes so much money off his courses. He doesn't need to be profitable. Sorry, just one last point. But going back to what you were saying, if you're that profitable, why are you selling courses? It helps, man. It really does help. Like why Frozen Tundra is profitable. I think he's doing very well. I don't see his P&O. And he has a day job. Right? Not risky. Fat Cat doesn't have a day job per se, but he still makes money off his YouTube. But why even spend time to do that? To grow a free community? Because it takes the pressure off. When you have pressure, trading, it's worse than it's the worst thing ever. And this is something I told his YouTube does make very little, but still it's something, and that's why he's trying to grow it. Him and I've talked about
I know that teaching probably helps a lot with your trading as well.
Yeah.
Just sharing your knowledge
Yes.
is pretty damn helpful.
Yeah, but you need a certain level of skill set in order to share, right? You can't just share if you don't know what you're doing. But I agree with you, John. It is. And I'll tell you guys what my
News
talked about.
FOMC dropping in 2.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. We can talk about this after this crazy spike. Just know that 95 to 96.50 area is still in effect, guys. Actually, 1 second. I'm gonna say maybe even, yeah. I mean, watch the price action on that, and if it skips that, you know, we're still looking at 02 from yesterday. If you remember yesterday, I showed it, 98.50 or something. But yeah, the 02, 01 area is still valid. So watch this wick up or down, and you know, go ahead and see it. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the daily +2 and which is 72.75 and or 71 and then wick up. So you know, we're just watching this for now. As far as directional moves, there's no directional move, guys. We're in a major zone. You know, we have been essentially unchanged for 3 weeks. We've been in the same zone for 3 weeks. It's not going to play out that fast. You know, just wait. All right, wicking down again, 71 to 72 area, 70 to 75 could be a spot. Just keep watching this. This is insane. So fast. Honestly, there's not a lot of actual buying or actual selling. It's just thin. It's really thin. We're looking at like 1, 2 lots on the table, 3 lots. Once occasionally we have a 10 or 20, but most of the time it's just 1 or 2. So the volume traded is quite thin. You can just see that. So nothing, you know, nothing too crazy, right? I mean, price movement does not equate to craziness. So here we are. Let's see if we can get up to 95s. Bonds closed. I mean, truthfully speaking, as of now, we haven't done shit, even with the FOMC. And that's what I was trying to explain to Specs is that he thinks the FOMC is going to be huge. I think not. I think the bigger number is going to be Friday. You know, even if we wick all the way down to the 60s, it doesn't mean anything. Or even fuck, even like 20s or the teens, it doesn't mean anything because ultimately, you know, we're still within this range. Price is price. We have done nothing so far. If we put in a good number at 71 to 72, I might go ahead and attempt a long. There goes 72, 75. That's daily +2. But I'm not exactly sure I want this. There goes 71. They blew right past it. I'm not really taking anything, and if you guys are, good luck. I don't know where this is going. I'm currently short 75 with a short leash. I'll take some off at 72, 75. But it's going to be a very, very short leash. Oh. We didn't really do anything this whole entire time. The whole fluctuation. Anyways, you guys take any trades there? I just took a small one. I haven't entered, but I don't know how far this is actually going to run. I'm probably not going to let it run too far away. Let's see. Potential reversal at 48.50, so I'll probably just let it run to 48.50 and then reassess. If it gets there, I would have made back what I lost plus 2 If it gets there. No one took any trades? I realize I'm not sharing my screen. But I can show you guys. I'm not gonna share my screen just because I'm gonna probably close this up soon. Unless you guys really want me to, then I'll share it. But one is where I took the entry and then I got stopped out at that swing high. And then two is where I re-entered. You can see that dotted line on top, but that's my stop loss. So I'm just gonna see how this plays out. Again, I'm still aiming for 48. Actually, crap. I'm still aiming for 50, but kind of showed me a slight reversal there. Let me see. I'll probably trail it at this point. Yeah, I'll trail to the most recent high just because I'm not really wanting to get married to this 72, 75. Although I still think there's more downside to go. 72, 75. Red Pie, you still there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you still there though, right?
Yeah. I just went to go use the washroom.
Okay. Again, I'm trying to send 72, 75, but my ultimate goal is at 48, 50. Let's see if we can get there. As long as we break, I want to say 62, it gives us a big chance to get to that level at 48, 50. I might trail this a little bit more. It seems pretty. I'll watch it. I have Red Pie. I have noticed that quite a bit of good entries are in Globex, but that doesn't mean that we don't get it in regular sessions. So for instance, today's best entry to me, short side, was at, um, you can't really say exactly at the top, but when I had the risk range or area I'm looking at, I'm out, by the way, at 95 to 96.50, that was to me the best entry to say hold for a short long term. So today's Globack session actually didn't offer many to get short. I actually got short. I did get short after the market opened, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that's not always the case. I do agree. Nice, Peter. I do agree. I'm out though, so did I? I don't know how much I made on that. I believe I made 1.5 R between the two trades. But yeah, I do feel like the highs and lows are from that day or from Globex, namely London session. This is just choppy now. This is just gonna chop you up, in my opinion. Anyhow, if you guys want to, we can continue to chat about it. If not, you don't have to. I like how we did absolutely nothing whatsoever during FOMC. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Rip, we'll talk more about that course thing later.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to message you that much anymore because you said you don't get sleep and stuff, and you still respond like when I message you. So I'm just like, oh
No,
damn.
just messages is fine, but we can talk about it on the stream as well. It doesn't have to be privately. Actually, messaging privately is because everyone has this. Not everyone, but most of the people have the same questions. So it's good to actually message publicly or talk about it publicly. It just makes it a lot easier. So don't be afraid to just ask.
Like I just want to say, like, since everyone's here, I have nothing against like courses or people to like trying to teach and learn together, like Fat Cat and whatnot. It's just that like when people sell courses, like Key Point selling, and they're like the hit rate is so bad, and they're not honest about it. Or like I used to like watch these guys that watch Flow, and they try to interpret it, and like I go back and because TOS you can see the buy and sell orders.
Yep.
You can see if it's like at bid or at ask, and like why are they interpreting like all of these at bid options as bullish? That wouldn't that mean be like bearish? Well, for calls because it's like selling options, but they will interpret it wrong, and then they'll just like lead a bunch of people into like deep water, and like they'll get like killed.
I don't disagree with you on that. I think there's a lot of people that are liars, right? They didn't hack it in tradings, and they try to sell courses. But there are people out there that I know that don't trade because they just suck at trading, but they're good at calling trades. Dude, it's like you can't expect whoever taught Tom Brady to be better than Tom Brady.
I mean, that's true, but I don't know. It's just like
And it's a weird thing. Our society in trading, the trading circle is such a weird thing where we feel like you don't have the qualifications to teach me how to trade professionally if you're not a professional trader. By those standards, a teacher can't teach you how to, anything because they're not of an expert, right? There would be no athletes because coaches are, some of them are ex-athletes, but they have to start somewhere.
I guess, but like at the same time, like the term like those who can't do teach kind of rings true too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, like for me, it's like if you have like laid out rules or like methodologies and I follow them and I like it can be proven that it's profitable, then okay, I understand. Like if you have bad execution, okay, but if these rules like work out,
Yeah.
But like if it's like the rules don't work out or like especially when they I do like, a lot of options. And for options, you can go back and like read time and sells like a lot easier than ES because I can't see like 500 lots or whatever on ES, right?
Right.
But like if someone says their size was 50 for I don't know, like a long Tesla, whatever's, and they say at what price and what time, I can go back and see what fills there were at that time. And like if it's not there, I'm just like, hey, either you're showing me like paper trades or you're not trading at all, and like you can't tell me to, I don't know how, if this sounds weird, but you can't like keep on giving out like these calls and whatnot. And like just because some of these kids, some of these people like that I know about like courses and stuff, they make literally like 50,000 a month or like 100,000 a month for people to just look at their trade ideas or share their trade ideas,
That's why they do it. That's a lot of money.
I don't know, it's just disgusting. I don't know, like it's disgusting and like it's hard to tell if they're good or not because you have to spend like a lot of time like just tracking them to see if they're like accurate or good or not, or they're just having like a bad week or whatnot. And like historically track them, and like time and sales data doesn't hold that long, right? Especially for like options and stuff.
That's why it's so difficult, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's so difficult for someone like Fat Cat or me to trade live. Because there are not even paid courses. You do not see people trade live at all. Yeah, it is tough. But back to your point, I get it. I get that it's not easy. I just feel like people who sell courses get a better rap. So like you said, you have to track it. Well, let me ask you a question. Have you seen Fat Cat trade?
I used to watch his trades. I seen his trades live.
Right.
But the thing is that I don't use the tools he used. So for me, it's like I can't replicate that unless like
you buy the tools.
Yeah, you buy the tools, and for me, that's an extra step to the investment that I don't really want to make because I've tried like tape reading before and like some of the trials for the I think order book programs. And man, it's just tiring. I can see why he takes like so many breaks and whatnot. You have to be like on it, and then like after like numbers and risky like mention like, oh yeah, you can just time splice and like price splice the orders. Like if you technically never see like 100 lots, whatever, like flying in until like it's like something big like news or whatnot, or like some like firm hedging. And I asked my friend works at a trading firm. I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, you never see us like go in again. That's stupid. Who does that?
Sorry, you never see us go what?
You will never see us go in and like with large size. That's dumb. Like for us, we'll just like because one of my friends, I have two friends that are active oil traders, and like two that are kind of like retired, and they're saying like, yeah, if you ever see for oil, if you ever see us with big lots, it's just either news or like something like happened in the Middle East or like OPEC or something, and people don't like track the news or whatnot. Other than that, like you'll never see them just splash in like 500 like CL at once or something like that.
Well, yeah. Fuck, CL's thin.
Yeah, so he's you get. That's why he told me to don't trade unless if you memorize the dates or whatnot or the catalyst times, because if not, you're just gonna get like, run over or something. So
agreed. Well, two questions, right? First question is, we're not. One question and one comment. So you said the whole thing about courses and stuff like that. Well, someone like Fat Cat who actually shows you everything he's doing live, wouldn't you say that that's well worth it? Whether it's your style or not, wouldn't you say it's well worth it?
For me, when I evaluate a course, I look at it as like I'll look at it as like, okay, what's the win rate? Is it worth learning and worth investing the tools into?
Right. But he's showing you clearly it's worth it because he just made like what 4K today or some shit.
Yeah, like it's worth it, like in that sense, but like it's just at the same time, it's like how should I say this?
It's not your style, sure, but
yeah,
it's still. Well, my point is, okay, let's just say someone was trading something similar to your style, and they're trading live. Would you not say that course is worth it?
Yes, I would.
I haven't even talked about the money side too, right? So the comment I was going to say was, it's so funny that I hear this constantly. I was that person that we're so against spending money in trading. Like, oh, I don't want to pay for that, or and I have either friends or family members who are trying to get into trading, and I say, hey, do this. He goes, no. That costs too much. Jigsaw costs too much. Or you need this, pay for this course. It's a shitty price action course for like, let's just say $100 lifetime, whatever. They said, no, I don't want to, I'll just go on YouTube or whatever. I'm like, do you have nothing to do in your life to spend hours and hours sifting through shit than to spend 150? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is traders are such a funny character because we don't like wasting money, but yet we throw away money all the fucking time. We're willing to chase bad trades over and over again and lose 150, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, whatever it is, day in, day out. But we're unwilling to spend $500 for our course, for a 3 month, 6 month long course. To me, that makes no sense. And coming from someone who was like you or that, I would say the sooner you get over that hurdle of thinking like that, the faster you're going to learn. Because no one's going to sit here and say, wait a minute, why am I spending so much money on a college degree? Then why don't I just learn it online? Well, you could. It's going to take you fucking forever. But you can learn all your skill set in life and in any college degree on YouTube probably. But that mentality is hindering people from actually succeeding a lot of the times. I mean, even to this day, even though I'm doing fine, people will be like, hey, Zero, I learned this. I'm all open ears. Like John told me about what his thing today. I'm open ears. I'll listen to it. It doesn't cost me a thing, but it's just being about open-minded. It's like, okay, cool. It could work. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but
no, like I agree. Like, and especially like that's what I meant. Like, if someone who has like they show that they're doing it live, or like I can go back and back test like has a good win rate. I think the hard part is verifying that it's a good win rate or whatnot. Because sometimes a lot of people get just suckered in by like the advertising, like, oh, this is what this person has been trading for 10 years. They must have a wealth of knowledge, right? then you test yourself and you're like, okay, no, this is not it. This is not the jam.
Yeah.
But like if it's someone that's like trading live and they have a good win rate, then I'm just like, okay, I'm more receptive to like spending money or cashing out or like investing the time to learn it and whatnot. Like that's the thing.
Let me ask you this. You're talking about win rate, and I'm not against what you just said, right? But I'm just looking at my average loss this week. Okay, so even though I think that my average loss is a little bit more. All right, so I'm up 8.644 R this week alone. So yesterday, today, that's it, right? 8.664. I think that's what I said. 8.6. I just call it 8.6. What do you think my average win rate is? Having said that, by the way, we just hit 48.50 and we're reversing. Or reversing in a sense where you just put in a reversal pattern. That 48.50 that I don't know if you guys remember me saying 48.50, but it's not a surprise.
I think for your R thing, it boils down more to risk management and how if you properly risk manage, you can harvest more R and like you can enter more plays. But because you're risk managed, you can just take a small loss while you let like your winners run and like make it all back and more type of thing.
Agreed.
Like in my opinion.
No, you're absolutely right about that. So for you, and Rep, I don't take this to offense, like where I'm not like attacking you, okay? I'm just trying to expand, like trying to show you the other side of it. So if you were to look at, say, my win-loss ratio, which for this week, I think 30%. Wait, did you say what percentage am I?
No, I didn't say what percentage you were. I'm just saying like most people like from the guys I talk to, they say like you can take a lot of stabs as you want, but you have to allow your winners to win. And they say like the biggest hurdle for a lot of new traders to see is, and I'm like suffering from that too, like with my like 10-point bracket and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is like they're not letting it run and like they're not harvesting as much as they can in this type of market, and they're just they learn like I learned concepts and stuff like that from like a really tighter market.
Yeah.
So it's like you're winning, but because you're not letting it run, you're not harvesting enough, and then all the other stabs you're taking, it's gonna add up. While this one like stab you took, that if you let it run, it could just allow you to just like make a ton of money, and like but it, like the more R's you have in wins, it buys you more time or more like equity to just take more stabs, and like if it's a good setup type of thing,
Yep. So for me, my win rate is at 48 point something percent. Okay, which is truthfully in comparison to Fat Cat or everyone else, it sucks. It really does suck. I think a lot of people will be quite surprised that I can make money having such a slow hit rate. But what I'm trying to get at is like, if you just strictly look at the win rate, you won't realize like, oh wow, you can still make money. So everything you said made sense and is true what you said, but you will essentially price yourself out because you look at my win rate like it's no good. You know what I'm saying? Like you could potentially be like, oh, he's not a good trader because his win rate's only 48%.
Oh no, like when I say win rate, I factor in like risk management and whatnot. Like if they have rules and I see them like breaking their own rules and taking huge L's on it, then I'm just like, no. Or like if they have rules and they don't follow their own rules, but if I can see that their rules actually work, then for me it's like, oh, this person has the right set, but they're just a bad trader. They have like bad execution.
That's hilarious. You know, it's a really bad execution. Fucking stupid earn to trade, or sorry, Sierra charts. Entry exit thing. It's bad.
Like I have, like for example, like Eurozone, right? And then I have like friends that are like really profitable, but they're just like, yeah, my setup takes like all my setups only work out when they have like 2 or more R, right? And that's how like they tell me like, oh, and that's the type of setups they take. Yeah. And I ask them like, how many setups you take a day, and he's like, oh, sometimes there's like 3 plays a day, and that's it. But because it's like a bracket order.
Yep.
But all they do is just keep on sizing up. So like some of them trades like 10 lots at once. And I'm like, isn't that a lie? It's like, yeah, but if you risk manage properly and you have like stats to prove like this setup works at like a high percentage rate,
Yep.
you only need like a couple plays a day to make like 10K a day or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like that type of deal.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
And like I know your philosophy too about like more time in the market, like why you make more while you're in the market, and then I agree too, because like right now we're having such huge trending days, like the candles from the daily candles now.
Mhm.
If you go back like 4 years, it outsizes it by like an enormous amount. It's
Mhm.
like disgusting.
And when I do, just to clarify, when I say time in the market, I do not mean constantly entering, exiting, entering, exiting. I
No,
do
no,
not.
like you leverage like oh, I'm 10 points green, and that buys me a lot of time. Like, well, that's the way I interpret it. Like buys you a lot of space to let the
Yep.
play breathe and play out, kind of thing. Like that's the way I interpret it.
No, that is correct. I want the play to be able to, you know, um, to work. I want to give it time to work. I don't want it to cut it short just because I'm in the green and it comes back at me 30 points. You know, if that 30 points that I gave up could net me an additional 2, 3, 4, 500 points. So you don't want to just like give up on that. You know. Oh, I didn't know that Belisarius, I didn't know that numbers was only 27% win rate. I thought he was like risky with like 75, 78%. That was my assumption. Thanks, Peter. I just called it out, Belisarius. I was short earlier and I said that 48.50, 48 was my target. And with targets, my expectation is a bounce as well. So, yeah. But back to Red Pie. I honestly took, a little bit too many trades today. I want to say. How many trades did I take? Took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, I think. So I do think that's a little bit a lot, but we did come up into many key areas. So the short up there, short up there. Oh well, the NQ doesn't count. So like 2 to 3 trades. So I would say, for your friend to say 1 to 2 trades per day, I think that's completely fair. I don't know how people take more than that. I have no fucking clue how people take more than that.
This sounds weird, but we used to do an exercise where we just sit and watch the market, and we would have to like speak to each other on the mic about what's happening, what we're seeing. But we didn't take any trades at all, because that's like the point of like building up discipline, and we just mark down what we thought, what we saw, what we would take, and then we'll see the win rate and whatnot instead of like paper trading, because paper trading you kind of like, sometimes it helps, sometimes it hurts, because you're just like, well, this is paper, like, to be honest about like paper trading kind of thing. I don't know.
Who's we?
A bunch of like other trading people like I go with. Like when we all entered, we basically all like started learning together.
Oh, I see. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That doesn't sound weird. That's a good exercise. I think that's a great fucking exercise. I personally would do that. I don't know what your definition of paper trading is, but my definition of paper trading is literally writing on paper, and I've done that before.
Yeah. Well, we typed it, but like one of our friends, like she has a notebook and she like just writes it out, and then she'll track it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like we like for sim, I don't know what it is, but you feel like you have more free will to take it, because I don't know, in a sense you feel like there's less accountability. That's how we thought about it.
I agree. I think sim is a lot of people are pro sim. I'm not against sim. I just think that if you're not, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know if you were here earlier. I was talking with Specs, and he says, "Oh, when I'm feeling whatever, I'll jump to sim and I'll take a bunch of trades and I'll come back. And if there's A plus setup, then I'll do it on a real account." I was like, "No, man, you're fucking making bad habits." Even if you're, let's just say, I said 48, 50, 48 is, you know, the number you want to watch, and then you're like, I'm like, all right, cool. You want to take a long there, and then you take like 20 stabs there at a long. I would say, nah, man, you're doing it wrong, because it's not about trying to get that perfect entry at 48.50 or 48. It's about having the conviction to take it once or twice max, or maybe 3 times max, and stepping away. You should not be stabbing it that many times, because once you start training your real account, you're going to do that, and then you're going to build up this tolerance to over trading. You want to build up your tolerance to other things, not over trading. You don't want to, you know, this is a weird thing to say, but you know, um, fuck, what was the saying again? Um, train, fuck, what is it? Train. Here, let me look it up real quick. Fuck, I forgot what it was. 1 second, guys. It's a really good quote. Fuck, I forgot. Shit. Sorry, guys. My tolerance for alcohol is high already. Anyways, all right, I'm not gonna spend too much time. Anyways, I, you know, you should just be training like it's a real thing, you know. Um, oh, I think it's called train like you fight and fight like you train. I think that was a saying. Um, train like you fight and fight like you train. Anyways, have you guys heard of that quote? I think it's like an old military saying. Yeah, so it's the same thing, right? Just because you're on sim doesn't mean you go fucking around and taking all these crazy ass traits. You want to literally train yourself as if it was a real thing. So I have nothing against that. And I think it's awesome. I don't think it's weird, Red Pie, that you guys just sat there and literally just um watch the market and call things out. I think it's awesome. Uh but yeah, the whole sim thing, I think a lot of people take it for granted, and including myself, that you just go fucking nuts on it. And I think that's not cool. Bell's here, you know, Specs, he takes 1 to 2 trades per day, but I didn't know he takes a million. I guess he takes other trades on his sim account, which still can pose an issue. Not saying that he over trades, but you know, let's just say he has a large size account. He might be, you know, he might jump to that, you know, one day. It's not about whether he does it constantly. It's just about whether he will do it one time, because it only takes one time to blow your shit out. mean, I've gone to places, like when I say gone to places, I mean like I've been in a situation where no joke, this is on sim, practicing scalping in and around an area, right? This was taught to me by PAX. I, no joke, took like 100 something to 200 trades per day. No joke. And I realized, even though I scaled back on that when I jumped onto a live account, and even though I was doing micros, I was still taking like 77 trades per day, dude. That's just fucking insane. On micros, you're just broke from, yeah, 77. Like, imagine the way I trade, where you see me now, the way, taking 77 trades. Fuck, no matter, like, I'm not saying no matter, but your runner needs to be so insane to make up for just those fees. I don't think he's an IB, but yeah. Rep, I don't need to apologize, man. Everyone's here to learn. But yeah, what?
No, like, but that's what I mean. But like, if I can replicate or understand it, then I'll go for it. Like, like sometimes
Yeah.
when Risky is like, "Did you guys see that?" and I'm like, "I don't have your setup, bro. I have no idea what you're saying." Like,
I don't.
like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. No one sees what Risky's see,
like,
and that's not a slight to him. I just, no one sees it.
like I understand like low volume nodes and stuff like that because like I look at that for a volume profile for like that's the pivot points. He's like, "Did you see that?" I'm just like, "No,
Well,
I
let me
did
ask you
not."
this. Okay, so let's just take the most recent thing that just happened at that 48.50. Do you guys see what I just saw as a reversal? Or actually, better yet, when I say I don't say do you guys see that, but when I say, oh, there goes a reversal on 48.50, like as you were talking, I interrupted you and said, okay, we just hit 48.50, 48, and now we're reversing. Did you guys see why I said that? Or are you guys are also scratching your heads like I don't have what you have, I don't see what you see?
I see it as a demand zone.
Okay, no, but okay, aside from how I got that 48.50 level, right? The question is, do you see why I said we put in that reversal?
The dollar and the bonds,
No. Just strictly on price action.
the wicks.
The wicks, and then we broke the previous high. So is a change, like we're changing, right? Okay, we're going higher, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and all of a sudden we have a higher high. Once we print that higher high, at 130.55, we have a change that, hey, look, this might be a reversal. So that is for the immediate time, 48.50 is the low. And then now we're just looking for a point to enter. Exactly. But you see that by that time though, right? You see that by, 1:30:55 Central Standard Time. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you guys don't understand why I said something, ask me, dude. I don't use anything special. I have similar things, not of what Risky has, but of what Santos has, because he built it. And I just kind of just watch it. But if you guys don't understand something, let me know so I can explain it. Because the worst thing is for you guys to sit here and listen to things that don't make sense. And again, Repai, you don't have to feel whatever any which way, because half the time no one sees what Risky's seeing anyways. And that's not a slight to him. It just means that we don't have his tools.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Like if any of you guys use anything, like if you guys are from 71 Trader and it works for you, like congrats to you.
Yeah. So to me, Peter, I think that you said starting from 28, I can kind of see why, but you're still looking for those levels to trade up and around. Yeah, digging it. Lower time frame market structure reversed. Brando, yeah, Fat Cat recommends doing those tick drills. And and this goes back to what we were kind of talking about courses. Fat Cat and I have talked about courses before, whether we want to put out a course. Personally, if I really were to teach capital flow, it would be so costly. And the demand I would ask of the person who is taking the course will be so much that I don't even think that anyone would take it. That's truth be said. Like, truth be told. Like, I don't know many people that would take the necessary time to learn it correctly. Yeah, it is exactly. And what I teach is not something, and you hit it right on the head. It's not sexy. It doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound cool to say you just made $1,000 off of 5-10 seconds. Because you're not the way I trade. So, by the way, if you're long from 48, you might want to consider taking some off, maybe at 57 or so. So yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it. So there are a lot of things that I don't agree with. There goes that 57. Just watch this. See if it breaks up higher. Does okay? Then you're in the clear. Usually when I call those, like, oh, if you're long from 48, you should think about taking off at 57. I'm not saying you should limit at 57. You should just be watching it and seeing the price action around that level. For instance, like how we just broke right now, you could, um, be a little bit more safe, maybe trail it down to like 53.75. But while it's at 57, maybe you can trail it to like 55 even, and then see what it does there. But anyways, back to the thing. There's some things that I do that Fat Cat disagrees with, and there are some things that Fat Cat does that I disagree with. I don't think tick drills are I've done his tick drills, and I've done other people's over trading, and I think it builds extremely bad habits. Now, Fat Cat could be a person who is unaffected by over trading, meaning he can turn it on and off. I can't. That's just not me. I'm, even when I played sports in high school, college, or whatever, or even when I'm learning a new craft, a lot of people, like stupidly, let's just talk about playing darts or some shit like that, right? I'm the type of dude that needs to get the repetitions in, like over and over and over and over again, so I can get better at it. But that's because it's repetition. Like I actually naturally like to do things over and over again to get to be extremely skilled at that. Which is a good thing, but with trading, it's very bad because you're forming a bad habit. I'm a very habitual person. So it's forming a really, really bad habit. Do you guys see how we basically tested that 57 before we kind of shot back up after we passed it, came back, tested it, and then shot? But anyways, I'm watching it, Ruben. I'm watching it on a lower time frame, so I'm watching it on a 5-second. I don't always look at a 5-second, but if I'm staring at an area where I want to where I'm trying to exit, that's where I would do it. I have level there, but I don't trust my levels like trust yours. I have different levels. Some get respect, some don't. Hey man, just because some don't, some do, doesn't mean your levels are bad. Truthfully, it just means that day. It doesn't, it doesn't that day. I just read that that meme. I didn't even notice it until now. That's fucking hilarious. It just means that some days, like today, I have a level at 71. It ran that shit multiple times, but I took that stab short, in the open at 71. when it gave it to me, and I took it to the short side, and that was a decent 15-point game. We had another love at 95, which it was called out during the day, so that was a good short too. And if you're still holding short from up there, honestly, I think there's a possibility that we could get down to say, well, actually, based on day type, but I think we can still get back down to 17s. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Rep, dude, thanks for sharing your thoughts. I think traders are a fucking hilarious bunch, man.
Oh, I don't know. Like I've met like some really cool and interesting styles and people, so I just never like really like read off any styles. I just wait like if you can quantify it for me like how it works, then I'll test it like kind of thing. But like
Yeah.
I've met like a lot of like I met this lady that she used to work at Morgan Stanley, and she was there during like the crash and like the absorption of Lehman and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And she like I asked her like, how do you trade? She's like, I don't know what TA is. I can just tell like from levels and charts and like she uses like a fucking line chart, you know?
Yeah.
Like she looks up charts on Google, and I'm just like, are you serious?
Does
She's
she
like,
trade on her own, or she trades with?
no, she trades on her own, not her like not like with like a client's money, but she trades on her own, and then I guess she just like pays her life or like sustains herself off of her trading, which is like really good.
Pretty awesome.
So I don't know, like I've met like really weird styles and whatnot, so I can't like really knock any style, but like for me, it's like
Yeah.
I want to see if it's testable type of deal, if that makes sense.
Yep. I can tell you this though, a lot of people who trade institutionally, when they come out, they do have a hard time adjusting because they don't have the tools. They have somewhat knowledge, but retail trading, I don't care if you're a professional who's extremely profitable, you're still a retail trader. Because you don't have the institutional money or information. You're still, at a slight disadvantage. But anyways, I don't think a lot of them actually translate that well. They're good because they're smart, but it doesn't impress me anymore when someone goes, "Oh yeah, I used to trade for," because I have friends who used to trade, who still do actually some. It doesn't impress me. Like, oh yeah, I was a trader at Deutsche, blah blah, and all this stuff. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean you know the market more than say one of you guys or Fat Cat or something.
I don't know. Like, oh, to me, it was impressive.
No, I'm not saying that they're not. I'm not saying as a blanket statement. I just mean that someone strictly saying that they're a trader doesn't really impress me. A trader for, I don't know, DB or RBS or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like talking to them is I find it interesting because like it opened my eyes to like one time one oil friend told me like, oh, what you think is size is not size. Or like my friend, I have a guy that works at the Nasdaq exchange. I know him, and he's like, you think your size is size? Like I watch millions just move every day. They just move, and it's just like sometimes it's just one old asshole just calls up me like, hey, this is where I want my move to go.
Yeah.
And then we ask him like, oh, okay, and then that's, I don't know, like it could be like your flow could be like one guy that like wants to execute somewhere that it can be seen, and that will be it. Like I don't know, like talk to him was like mind boggling.
I mean, they're actually talking about it right now. They're talking about China, but I'm more interested in people who are actually having to manage their risk properly. Unlike institutions, they don't really have to manage their risk all that properly, right? But like these funds, these like simple, RIAs and stuff like that, they have to manage their risk properly. they can't just, you know, like an institution just have a 100-point risk range where they buy shit over and over and over again, and it drops 100 points or 50 points to buy it again. You know, that's a lot of drawdown. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's, you know, it's funny that you guys kind of touched upon that. I actually thought about, you know, not sharing my information here and stop streaming, because it's like, these motherfuckers don't give a shit about capital flow. They don't, they want to know, you know, buy at this level, sell at this level. They want those like ADR days like you guys here, and like how what Fat Cat's doing, right? Because it's honestly, it's, I mean, if I could do what Fat Cat's doing, I guess I might be doing that over what I'm doing. You know, to make 4,000 and not have to carry that risk, or to make 4,000 and then, you know, within like, I don't know, half an hour, it's pretty good. I think I would do that over what I'm doing. I think what I'm doing is fucking, like, you said that it's stressful watching Fat Cat, or Fat Cat is like looking at so many things at once. He is, because it's just like insane. But capital flow is similar to that. You're just looking at a bunch of shit over and over again. Watch this 76 to 77 level. I don't know if we are, but we might get a reversal there. 76, 77, there it is. Just watch that price action, see if we can get a reversal here. If we can, it might be possible short. Let me check. Let me check what information we have. A lot of selling coming in, but not a lot happening right now. I think we can pop up. Let this pop up to about 75, 76, 76. You might be able to take another stab there. 76 level, or maybe even a little bit lower. Let me see. Yeah, 76. I think if we can pop back up to 76, this will be a safe short to downside. Again, this is just for scalping. This is not some kind of big move you're looking for. Let's see, I wanted to pop up to 76. $75.50. I'll settle for $75.50 and get up there. And kind of like that too. Let's see if we can pop to 75.50. There it goes. Let's see if we can get in on this. All right, let's watch the price action in this area. It doesn't really look like it's ready to roll yet, but I guess it is ready to roll. We'll see. We need to get low. I want to say below 69 first. See if we can get up to 69. That's cool, Peter. It's just about personality. If you're a type of person who wants to trade multiple instruments, um, I think you know, I think being a capital flow trader or technical trader is more useful. Um, I I call my type of trading technically trading. It's like somewhat technical, um, but at the same time, it's not because it's also fundamental as well. All right, guys. If you guys don't have any other questions or you guys don't want to talk about anything, I'm probably gonna close up. Don't want to over trade. We're just in a chop fest. One last note, we just broke 60, that 69, 68, whatever level. I would say the retrace, look, if you're looking for a short, you look for a retrace maybe up to say 72, 75 area for a short. But if not, you know, I would say don't over trade this area. Anyhow, all right, guys, have a good day. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Alright.
Just hit me up if you guys have any questions.
So would you rather us just like
Yep.
propose questions like in 0 hour stream or
Yeah, you just just at me and you just ask it either on stream or on 0 hour stream. It's best because you know uh, everyone kind of has the same question. So
yeah, that rather than like you having to do it like 200 times individually, yeah.
yeah, it's just a little bit easier. We just hit 72.50. I doesn't look like it's about to roll yet. I probably wouldn't take a short here. I'll probably just wait for it to kind of settle a little bit. But anyways, all right, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, Reply, for jumping on voice.
All right.
Later,
Thank you.
Zero.
John and John. All right, later, guys.
Bye.